All right, everybody, welcome back to Season 6 of Liftoff. I'm Lego Mage here with Cloak Oak to bring you this qualifying matchup of Pass versus Dragonslayer 2. Loading in now, getting into Atlas Lab. And I did notice it was an ad rush start, but we were talking a little bit before this started that these are two of kind of the most fun teams to be watching right now go up against each other.
Well, and on an ad rush start with Tempo Mel and Pummelers Luna.
Oh, yeah.
You already know we're looking at a reprisal of the Forged Fury performance last week. Tempo Melon getting, what was it, like 20, 30 KOs? And on Oni Village, too, and we're on Atlas Lab. This is a much more KO-heavy map, so I'm looking to see some ridiculousness coming out from Pass. It looks like all three members of Dragonslayers 2 have gone for that Spark of Strength pickup, though. A little bit more reliable. You're guaranteed to get more benefit out of that one, as well as you get to contest the Sparks. So, off to a very heated start, though. Barriers already being taken by Dragonslayers as we move into set 1.
Yeah, really aggressive starting Awakenings in gear here for Pass. Double pumps, double ad rush on the Luna rune. If they are able to start picking up KOs, it can snowball really hard, but the early core control definitely in favor here of Dragonslayers 2. Already seeing that pay off. Both barriers are down right now. Striker Kai and Twisty looking to posture aggressively. The core, though, will slip back to Strike Shot Enjoyer. Gave West get to pass Tempo Melon, but the Tofu Fortress sends it right back around. A nice Strike Shot save. Tempo Melon is a bit staggered here in the middle. The Death Touch from Twisty, not quite at enough range to pick up the KO as he had to overtime. But Tempo with the dash punch on the Luna on the wall. That's going to be a power play here for Pass. And now Pass up to Tempo Melon. That's the second barrier gone. Both sides opened up a boost into Rocket. But Strike Shot save Enjoyer will find the save coin with the flip point blank. Also going to get blocked away. That'll be Striker Kai respawning. Shedding back to neutral here now, pushing up on the top side. A nice strike from Striker Kai. Mango's not quite able to find the roll, and it'll be Dragonslayers 2 to take the first points.
Yeah, Dragonslayers definitely going to have the more consistent start in this set 1. Not as much damage in terms of Awakenings on the side of Pass, but certainly they're still playing for those kills. And I'd like to really admire the decision to go double midfield here. Or maybe it's arguably not double midfield, maybe it's arguably Tempo Melon Brawler on the Luna, but I think that you could construe this as a double midfield for sure. And it is going to slow down the points, but Pass doesn't have a problem with that. They've already committed to this idea of we're going to win by killing, and that's how this is going to happen. There we go, the Rune Luna bullcrap! I love this derpy combo. It sucks to play against, it feels awful to play against, but to watch these top players cook on it. It's highly entertaining. So they're going to be doing this the whole game. And Pass have already made it clear exactly how they intend to win here. But for now, it's Dragonslayers 2 at the forefront. They're the ones who have an open goal in front of them once more.
And Pass now trying to get some offense going here. They force the core flip out Strike Shot Enjoyer, but the Banish and the Nuke not quite lining up. And Dragonslayers 2 will get out with minimal damage. Striker Kai is staggered, though, in the backfield. Takes a rocket. Send him flying. Twisty now with the core. Pass down Striker Kai up into the corner. Twisty looking for a shot. Not quite able to hold on to it. And that's Striker Kai down. Another power play for Pass. His coin up in the top corner looking for the pass to Tempo Melon. They'll bring down the second barrier now. Back to Tempo Melon down to coin looking for the corner. A great strike shot from the now goalie. But Tempo Melon is able to keep possession. And with a dribble to a shot, will find the center of the net. Pass able to tie it up at 1.
Yeah, and with the Pummelers on Tempo and coin, Striker Kai and Twisty both opting for Mags. That Mags pickup by Dragonslayers, weirdly enough, almost plays into game plan of Pass, because when you have to come back on defense as a result of a power play, and both of the enemy forwards have Pummelers, it is a massive speed difference. But none of that's going to be happening now. It's a power play and 2 barriers down for Dragonslayers.
Yeah. Dragonslayers trying to force this power play here. Giga Blast here in the corner. There's a lot of energy to work with for Pass. A nice banish to buy some time from Coin. The pillar almost some self-sabotage, but Mango's with the flip able to save it. To bring down a barrier on the return. Tempo Melon will proc the ad rush off of the boost kill. And now they're looking for a power play of their own. Pass trying to keep the aggression up. But nice strikes from Striker Kai. Doing just enough to clear it out to buy a few precious seconds for Twisty to come back online. Mango's aggressively pushing up there to stop the core, but Striker Kai will punish him for it, and that'll be the second point going over to Dragonslayers 2.
they are certainly making a show of it. Twisty and Striker Kai both linking up really nicely in front of the net there. And though Mangoes is putting up quite a nice display on defense, doesn't really have too much support. But when you're on a power play, you've got a double ad rush proc on both of your forwards. Doesn't really matter whether or not you have, you know, a midfielder with speed to help you out here. Coin does have a flip in front of the net, and it's looking like a pass angle to try to tie up this set.
Yeah, speaking of angles, there's a sad boy one right there for Twisty. Still able to keep the core up, but another banish into Crater Maker combo. I mean, Pass has been so coordinated with those so far. Will result in the power play, and a coin flip from Coin will set up Tempo Melon for the goal. Pass firing back yet again, bringing it to 0.5 here in set 1.
Yeah, 0.5 already. I'm going to be honest, I'm impressed that Pass were able to make this happen. When you're playing an early kill comp like this, oftentimes it can be really, really hard to pick up some steam in the early sets if you don't have damage awakenings. But Rune Luna kind of solves that problem. As long as the banishes are coming out from Coin, there are always going to be massive opportunities for that Luna nuke to take someone down to full stagger. But Twisty's already back up and running, and the barriers are down. This could be a Dragonslayers early set 1.
Twisty dribbling up here. Mango's trying to keep in the bottom corner of the pendulum swing. Now you're unable to land, but Striker Kai with the pass up to Twisty will find the top corner. And Dragonslayers 2 will pick up set 1 here. It might be absolutely crucial for them to not let Pass get any crazy damage awakening. And with a Spark, Fight or Flight, Stagger Swagger all showing up here, yeah, this can be a really important draft. I think Cloak's mic might be a little bit broken at the moment. But yeah, we will see the Spark go first, of course, to Striker Kai. The Fight or Flight, followed by the Stagger Swagger, going over to Pass. Very important awakenings in that draft. Strike Shot Enjoyer are going to pick up the Explosive, and Twisty on the Heavy Impact for the extra cooldown. Mangoes did pick up the Creations, the Cast to Last, not the Cast to Last, the other thing, Timeless, for those soups, but that's a really solid draft here for Pass to get away with 2 of the best awakenings, the best survival awakenings in the game, and they're getting even more value now off of their kills. Now 1-1 as Pass try to work their way up the field, but it's Twisty dribbling back up into the midfield. Here a banish into Crater Maker. That could be a KO. Missed time just a little bit with the pillar from Coin. We'll finish him off. And now another power play here for Pass. Coin up to Tempo Melon in the top corner, but Twisty finds the clear to buy some time. Coin setting up in the bottom side, but Sad Boy's angle will be able to clear it out, and Striker Kai back online. Still in the defensive here, but Twisty looking to push back up with the Whiplash. Tries to get it through, forces the flip out of Mangoes. Won't get too far though. Strike Shot Enjoyer up to Striker Kai. Dribbling through the midfield. The Tofu Fortress coming out here in overtime. As Twisty looking for some kind of setup. Striker Kai working up the field with the log just enough to zone him out. Neither team able to get a solid grasp on the offense. They're looking to set up. Coin's taking a little bit of damage here, but the cooldown should be coming back up for Pass soon. And they'll have the opportunity to find another power play. A boost forces Strike Shot Enjoyer to burn the core flip. And now Twisty dribble off the center. Gets it past. Mangoes are yummy. Committed to the somersault. And Striker Kai with the shot on the open net will take the point. Dragonslayers 2 go up first in set 2. Rolling right into the next kickoff. Then, as the pillars from Coin make it so difficult in the early parts of the points for Dragonslayers 2 to get much, and it will be Pass starting with an early offense here, but some solid defense from Dragonslayers 2, and a lot of damage on Tempo Melon forced the play to go a bit poorly for them. Pass losing both their barriers. Tempo able to recover here, but now in a precarious situation. Striker Kai up to Twisty, has the Whiplash activated in the top corner. There's the Giga Blast. Doesn't find much, though. They'll just get rotated around, and Pass will find a barrier on the return. Now looking to set up an offense of their own, down to Coin. Striker Kai on the defense, though, in the bottom corner. Not letting them get very much distance on that at all. Now pushing back up. Some offense, Dragonslayers 2, the barrage, stopped by the somersault. Pass looking for the clear. The boost from Tempo Melon will do it, and Strike Shot Enjoyer caught a little too far up. Will lose the barrier. Here's the core flip coming out. Gonna get blocked by the forwards of Pass, though. Now Tempo down to Coin, looking for the bottom side. Has the pillar set up, not able to find much. Striker Kai on the defense with the barrage to force it out, but big damage comes on to Twisty in the midfield. This could be a power play right here. A core flip from Striker Kai, answered with a flip from Mangoes Are Yummy. Down to Coin with a redirect off the wall, banks it in, and Pass tie it up again. It's been 1-for-1 here pretty much this entire game. Neither's able to get a truly decisive points lead, but of course Dragonslayers 2 do have the current set lead, and big damage on the Tempo Melon here. Flies around the world to pick up the midfield orb to stay alive. Does leave a little bit of breathing room here for that one-on-one in the midfield with Twisty and Coin, and that will be a barrier going down for it. A banish into a Crater Maker. That's both forwards getting hurt, and a KO onto Striker Kai. An easy point here for Pass. Just taking huge advantage of that speed and able to force it right into the still opening goal gates. Now Pass on set point. An opportunity to truly tie this game. Surely they need to take it. Quick barrier down, though. And a second one from Striker Kai. Bit of a misplay here from Strike Shot Enjoyer. Will lose one barrier, but still in a decent position. Tempo Melon is a bit injured. Mango's committed to Tofu Fortress already. A banish into Crater Maker. Forces some energy off of Striker Kai here. But now Mango's looking for a clear. Coin with the flip. Picks up the KO and brings it up to Tempo Melon. Now it's a power play for Pass. Core, though, getting cleared out and buying a few seconds. Dragonslayers 2. A nice strike shot from Strike Shot Enjoyer. Let Striker Kai come back online now. As Dragonslayers 2 looking for some offense here. A pass up to Twisty will find the death touch to on the rebound, but Mangoes holds it down. Gonna have to do another clear here up to the top side. Twisty looking to regain possession with the whiplash, dribbling in the corner, but Tempo Melon not letting her get very far. Another pendulum swing to look for possession, but Coin able to get back in time on the defense. Now get cleared back out to the middle. Twisty, though, with the flip available. Could spell some good news here for Dragonslayers. The Tofu Fortress committed, but there's a gap on the top side. Twisty with the core flip into pendulum swing, and there's nothing Dubu can do about that one. Dragonslayers 2 tie it up on set points.
How am I sounding now, huh?
You're back. Welcome back.
I'm back. Let's go.
You're back.
All right, we will take that. I had to dilly-dally around in my Windows microphone settings. We're getting some banish evades now, Lego. Yep. I missed almost the whole set, but it's another set 5.5. Dragonslayers still keeping it up and running, and they have the energy advantage here. Twisty's looking to end it and bring them up another set.
I see dribbling in the top corner. Strike Shot Enjoyer up here in the midfield as well to keep the pressure on, but losing a little bit of momentum right now, though. Twisty sends it back in to an offensive zone. Striker Kai up to Twisty in the top corner. Can't find a good angle. Coin will make it clear. Looking for a little bit of breathing room here for Pass, but Strike Shot Enjoyer down to Striker Kai, the Crater Maker, though, coming out, breaking that play up. The Death Touch gets dropped, but a little bit too early. Mango's had time to make the read. Just gets sent back down to the bottom corner. Dragonslayers 2 will lose a barrier off that return. Find a clear here. Back to the midfield. Tempo Melon now looking for the boost. A core flip from Strike Shot Enjoyer. Will sneak it past, though. Core flip from Tempo Melon. In return, it's going to get blocked away. No barrier to be found just yet. Now Coin going to get blocked by the barrage. The Death Touch from Twisty almost stealing the core away, but not able to find it. But Tempo going down, and now it's a power play for Dragonslayer. Strike Shot Enjoyer to Striker Kai, but the pillar from Coin is perfectly placed, and that steals the barrier away when they're short-handed. The banish almost lasting long enough to find the point. Now Tempo Melon coming back, boosting into the bottom corner. Beautiful setup right to the middle. Strike Shot Enjoyer can't place the primary in time, and Pass. They'll take the sets. What a reaction from Tempo to change direction mid-boost on a whim to get to that bottom corner. That was crazy.
Yeah, incredibly clutch, especially because Dragonslayers still playing really, really strong that point, but Pass managed to get it out. That'll be a monumentalist pickup by Coin. That means it will not be available for this now. But similarly, Denial's coming out from Striker Kai, picking up that Deadeye, making sure Tempo will not have access to it. She does still get Super Surge, though. And those dashes, just like you said, those boosts are particularly nasty. That is a Pauldron's Might of the Colossus Dubu. Mango's looking to get in on the killing action a little bit more. And I'm a little worried about Twisty's ability to get value out of Glass Cannon when the enemy's game plan is to beat her up as much as possible along with all of her teammates. So we'll see how that plays out. But our sets are tied up for now, Lego, and we're starting off set 3 with yet another disgusting neutral state as both of these teams desperately try to beat one another up and grab barriers.
Yeah, that's how it's been for the majority of this game here. Once they find a foothold, they're able to make a big explosive impact, but until then, it's a lot of just battling. Striker Kai, though, finds a gap in the defense. Gets the pass up to Twisty. And that will be the first point going over to Dragonslayers 2. Small mispositioning there from Pass. But ultimately, I did want to touch on that glass can thing you said, because I kind of noted most of the damage from Pass has been going on to Striker Kai. I say that as Twisty gets absolutely blown up. But most of it up to this point has been going, most of the KOs have been landing onto Striker Kai. So curious to see if that damage allocation changes at all.
Yeah, one thing is for sure, Dragonslayers 2 are adapting really well to the game plan of Pass. So I've noticed Strike Shot Enjoyer holding on to the now ult. And what a call out from Twisty, point blank in front of the net to get a 2-point lead in this set. Well played from Dragonslayers 2, and especially Twisty there. But I want to call out Strike Shot Enjoyer for a moment. Holding on to the now ult to make sure that when Coin lands these banishes, they can teleport all the way up to the front and stop Coin from being able to place pillars on top of the teammates, which shuts down that whole combo. It will not, however, shut down Tempo Melon from dash punching her way into another ad rush proc and getting another power play for Pass.
And 2 flips to work with here as well. They get 1 barrier, but Striker Kai just doing a good job buying some time. A core flip from Tempo. We'll find the second one now, but Tempo getting taken out from the black hole. It's just Coin in the 1v3. A core flip here to the top side. The Strike Shot Enjoyer is going to shut that down. Now Mango's forced to buy a little bit of time. A banish into Pillar onto Twisty, but Mango's will lose 1 barrier here. Twisty looking pretty hurt. Tempo picks up the KO on the respawn, and now another power play immediately for Pass, pushing up to the top corner. Strike Shot Enjoyer buys just enough room to avoid the boost, and now Striker Kai looking to buy some time here, but Tempo with the core up to the top side. Doesn't have a boost cooldown to commit. And now taking some damage from Twisty on the respawn. The banish going wide. Tempo boosting into the bottom corner here, but Striker Shot Enjoyer bringing it around the bottom side. Giga Blast not able to find much. A pass up to Twisty here. Back down to Striker Kai, but Coin getting in the way. We'll send it back around. Force another rotation here from Dragonslayers 2. Tofu Fortress is on cooldown now. It's Twisty up in the top corner, getting a little bit of help from the ranged goalie. Striker Kai with a barrage to the bottom side. Mangos finds the read. A Giga Blast. No, but a bad angle. Very lucky as it bounces between the goal walls. And now Striker Kai looking for the bottom corner, but can't get it through. The defense is still. Another banish here onto Twisty. Doesn't get much. Continue off in the midfield, though. Pass. A little bit of an opportunity there, but wasn't able to find much. A nice pendulum swing by Mangos with the rolls. Able to call it out and keep the play alive. Striker Kai with the core. Bringing it upfield. Twisty not far enough up there to be able to do much. And now Dragonslayers looking to regain possession. Core flip from Mangos, though. Sends it around the world. Strike Shot Enjoyer's got a flip to send it right back. Core just back into the midfield. And finally going in. Mangos caught in the log animation as it banks off the wall. It hit the now primary there. That's a hard one to see coming. And Dragonslayers 2, after a bit of an exhausting point, will manage to take that set. This time 3-0.
Yeah, a crazy, crazy long last point there. The Dragonslayers are the ones that come victorious. And it does look like they're going to keep the denial game going, which I would say is pretty smart. If you're winning off of core control, there's no reason to let the enemy team get the bis that'll let them pop off. Stacks on stacks, though, floating all the way down to last pick, where Coin will manage to pick it up. Honestly, the most critical pickup, though, in this draft is Mango's getting that recovery drone. He was on the precipice of being able to red core in overtime with the Pauldron's power plus might. With that little bit of extra size, I think that'll put him over the edge, and this will make Dragonslayers a significantly larger threat when the overtime clock hits. Yeah,
it definitely will. But so far, I think we're just going to continue to get more of the same as, I mean, as you point out, pretty much every point is going to be going into overtime with what we've seen thus far. And, well, now we've just entered the Oni Village version of this map state, where you have the 2 barriers on the top side and the open space at the bottom. A lot of times they can last pretty long, but Pass able to find the barrier there was a bit of aggressive push. Will open up that goal pretty early on. Now passes to Temple Melon, a boost to the corner. Doesn't get too much there. Tofu Fortress in the midfield forces Twisty to have to dribble around a bit. Striker Kai got some speed on the defense and keeping it good. And now we hit that overtime. There's Mangoes hitting that red core, as you mentioned. Now Twisty dribbling up the field. A nice somersault from Mangoes. Clears it out of there pretty quick. Striker Kai, but the Banished getting 2 of them. However, they're able to get out in time to avoid the Crater Maker. And they'll stay alive. A boost up from Temple Melon. Doesn't have the redirect, though, to send it to the bottom of the net. Strike Shot Enjoyer does go for the flip. It gets it up to Twisty, and that's the barrier gone. Can't find the point just yet. Striker Kai to the top corner. Twisty with the whiplash, but Coin finds the clear and has the flip available of the zone. Here in the midfield. Just pushing up with the death touch. Mangoes finds the somersault, though, and that's a block core flip from Coin. A pass to Tempo Melon with the boost to redirect it point blank. Some crazy timing coming out from Coin and Tempo Melon this whole match. Another example right there to pick up that point.
Yeah, another big consequence of, or I shouldn't even say consequence, but rather benefit of this double midfield comp that Pass is running is it does give Mangoes so much leeway on defense. This guy has cooldowns available all the time, despite not having any cooldown awakenings. Allows him to respond to Twisty really effectively. Even when his team gets double KO'd, what a power play here for Dragonslayers too, as they get to run up the field. Burning energy here, getting both barriers and cracking open the net.
And Twisty is able to find a nice shot to the bottom. Mangoes very big, but not very fast on that Dubu. Can't make those cross-net saves in time. And Dragonslayers 2 is able to get on the power play. Good things absolutely happen, but they continue to go 1 for 1. That last set was really the outlier here. And we'll see if they're able to keep it up. A core flip, though, blocked by Twisty, and that results in a barrier lost in Twisty with the KO as well. They're looking for a second one, potentially. Temple Melon's pretty hurt, but another power play for Dragonslayers. Tofu Fortress coming out here. A nice clear from Temple Melon buys a little bit of time. Striker Kai looking to keep the offense up. Dribble off the black hole. Twisty having to recover just a bit. She ran out of energy here. Striker Kai taking quite a bit of damage. Almost got KO'd. But now Pass with the pressure in the bottom side. The pillar from Coin will pick up the first barrier. Double Banish coming out. No Crater Maker to follow up. And it'll be Dragonslayers dribbling back up the field. There's the Crater Maker, but it might be too late. A nice death touch from Twisty. Calls out Mango's roll, and that's the second barrier gone. Twisty with the whiplash available, able to win the foot race against Mango's and just push it right in. Dragonslayers 2 on match points.
Obviously, Twisty and Striker Kai are putting up a good show on offense, doing a fantastic job keeping possession and playing their life, right? They've been dodging a lot of these abilities that are putting up, but I really got to hand it to Strike Shot Enjoyer. Has really been the MVP of countering Pass's game plan here, leaving up orbs for his brawler and midfielder, who are both liable to getting KO'd a lot more than they are in this match. And also, the clutch now ults have been insane. And this guy has picked up specialized training, which means that in the event that Tempo Melon doesn't get a knockback KO like that, they can be healed from stagger. But for now, Tempo's going on a rampage. This is Pass's time to possibly reclaim the set.
And one barrier there. Tempo Melon will open up the goal. A bit of a misplay there. Results of the core of the precarious situation. Tempo able to sneak the rocket in just as Strike Shot Enjoyer was looking for the save. And I guess able to get the right angle or the right timing on it. Stealing that point away a little bit as Pass. 2-2 now. Another 0.5.
Another 0.5, but the barriers are very quickly lost on the side of Pass. Dragonslayers with a fantastic opportunity, especially with this power play to close out game one. Put themselves up a tab on the board. Twisty running forward, but Tempo catches her with a dash punch. Tempo there to receive, and now with the ad rush proc and the pummeler speed with Coin back on the field. Runs up, almost gets another kill on Striker Kai there. The Striker Kai and Strike Shot Enjoyer successfully defending away long enough for Twisty to come back on the field. Coin now running up here. Banish goes wide. Twisty almost catches it past a Mango's rolling up the field, but Tempo there to catch, make the save, and Pass are staying in this despite all of that insane series of events.
Yeah, now back to 3-on-3 here, but Twisty and Striker Kai pushing up to the top corner. Now Primary in there, but Twisty with the pendulum swing was ready and waiting for the clear. The classic Rasmus play, able to call out Mangoes and send it right in. Mangoes didn't even have time to use a core flip there, because it was overtime with all that speed. For Dragonslayers 2, they'll pick up game 1. And we'll be moving on to Taiko Temple here for game 2. 8 KOs from Twisty, 9 from Tempo Melon. I mean, it was Dragonslayers 2. We expected Pass to get a lot of KOs, but Dragonslayers 2, I mean, they kept right up with them.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that both of these teams easily had a shot at taking the game, obviously. The thing that tipped the scale in Dragonslayer's favor was far and wide the just complete inability for the Banish into Nuke combo to ever properly land. Thanks mostly to Strike Shot Enjoyer's now ult. A lot of, thought has gone into what is the counterplay into this comp, because a lot of people have been bringing out the Rune Luna. It's been known for a while, but lately it's seen a bit of a renaissance, and it's like, what's the counterplay other than just make sure you have some evasion, constantly watch the Rune, and make sure you evade the Banish. It turns out that having a Now on your team, another drop in the bucket of Now just being an absolutely insane character, and you put him on a cracked goalie like Strike Shot Enjoyer, who's able to recognize the need of the team to always have someone teleport on top of where Coin wants to place those pillars. And you have a recipe for completely deleting the enemy team's win condition, more or less. So well played from all of Dragonslayers there to completely shoot down the game plan of Pass. But I would not be at all surprised if we're about to see some classic locker room adaptation moving into game 2. Pass certainly has an opportunity to try to undo some of what we just saw in that game. And like you said, it was close. So if they tweak just a little bit, there's a very decent chance we could be seeing a game 3.
Yeah, and that was Dragonslayer's map anyway. So Pass playing a little bit more on their home turf here with the Taiko Temple. I wouldn't be surprised if we see changes obviously come out from both teams, right? I think if you're Dragonslayers, you expect Pass to not do the same thing. Then again, they could just do the same thing because Dragonslayers 2 is expecting them not to do the same thing, if you know what I mean. But no, it's a Stacks Monu start, so pretty different playing field here regardless. Last time we saw Mako and Atlas both get banned. The melee goalies pretty high up on that priority list. They both got heavily hit that last match. So getting into this draft here, we're going to see what happens again. It will be Asher as the first ban, though, coming out from... Why is that text so tiny? What's that? Dragonslayers.
Yeah, that's Dragonslayers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with this Stacks start, something that I am expecting to see here, especially with Monu being the awakening that it's paired with, right? Because not everybody benefits from Monu. A lot of strikers don't benefit from Monu, and in particular brawlers. We've pretty much already banned the one brawler that benefits from Monu, which is Asher. So now I'm looking at this. Stacks, very high risk, high reward awakening, incredibly valuable if you can actually keep those stacks up. But Pass, known for killing, known for wanting to go for this ballistic blow up your enemy play style. Stacks on stacks is an awakening they're very happy to see, because if you're killing your enemy, keeping your stacks alive, and deleting their stacks, that's a massive, massive advantage. They are drafting Dubu and Aimi. I'm sure that's probably Mango's on the Dubu. I have to imagine that's Tempo Melon's Aimi. So they could flex it either way. Maybe they decide to not go for killing, but I would say that any team that has an Aimi on it is certainly gearing up for war.
Yeah, I'm curious here. We see this Octavia ban that allows Dragonslayers to get Atlas on a Monu start on Taiko Temple. Is the Octavia? Do you think the Octavia ban's really warranted here? Because
Um,
I don't know, that seems weird to me, but I also am not as up to date with the state of the game.
it's a good question. So Octavia has been really really strong lately. She just has a high base speed. She has a lot of good awakenings that are in rotation right now. So you just kind of play speed merchant with her. She's a really strong midfielder in that sense. She is also really squishy though. Like usually Octavias are relatively killable if they don't get a lot of survivability or speed awakenings. So I could see an argument for both sides. Octavia is really strong, but she's also she's also very squishy, usually very killable. Certainly Atlas, at first glance you see that Atlas and you think, well, that's a Monu Atlas. He's going to be able to defend the barriers really easily. He's also going to be able to potentially revive and undo some of those KOs. But if you're getting consistent KOs, which an X Aimi are certainly able to do, Atlas can only stop so many. He's kind of like a recovery drone every now and then. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the game plan still goes perfectly. What I'm most interested in is this Rasmus midfield that Striker Kai has whipped out. I don't think I've ever seen somebody run Rasmus midfield on Tycho, but it should in theory work. Like the other popular map that you see Rasmus midfield run on is Night Market, and Tycho is usually compared to Night Market. A lot of the same comps are played on both maps. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if this is a totally valid playstyle. And we're jumping right in. Mango's back on the Pauldron's bullcrap. Coin and Tempo both opting for slick kicks. Striker Kai and Twisty back on the Mag Souls. It looks like very little has changed, except this time Coin and Tempo are putting the core control win condition under their belts as well, not relying entirely on those KOs to make the game a victory.
Yeah, and a lot of stacks picked up here. We see both the goalies go for Monu on their creation characters. Everyone else is picking up pancakes. So if we do see some KOs come out, like you mentioned, they will be very volatile. Now Tempo Melon pushing back here after losing 2 barriers. Will pick up 1. They're looking for a second one. X Maximus getting popped by Coin. Looking for the bell ringer, but clear able to be found by Dragonslayers as we head into overtime. The pressure, though, still mounting from past. The cyber swipe will get blocked out by Twisty. The slice and dice down to the bottom corner. Forces Mangoes to have to send it back in. But now one-on-one, Twisty, the insta-flip in the dash. There's nothing Mangoes can even do. Mangoes even flipped on reaction to that. But, like, I fully expected, I think what every goalie expects there, for Twisty to push up, do a dribble or something, and try and get it around you, not just instantly shoot it like that. So, well played.
Yeah, we do have Twisty on her comfort pick here. Something like, 2,500 games on Zentaro at this point, maybe more. An absolutely insane amount of experience on this character. Knows exactly how to take advantage of any goalie. But that being said, that's Tempo and Coin making an impressive offensive push of their own, grabbing a quick 20-second point for the side of Pass. It looks like both of these teams have their work cut out for them, and in particular the goalies, because these forwards are putting on a show right now.
Yeah, I think these 2 forward duos have really kind of been the name of this series, and as I say that, a double barrier here for Dragonslayers. If they're looking to keep the pressure up as well. They have Strike Shot Enjoyer up in the midfield here. They will lose a barrier, getting a little bit too aggressive there, but a lot of damage now coming out onto Coin. Avoids the death touch, but Tempo Melon will be left on her own for just a little bit here. Tofu Fortress will come out in the midfield, and now Coin fully recovered, able to push back up. Tempo held onto that core for a pretty long time. Keep the offense going. For Pass, a nice revive here from Strike Shot Enjoyer, but that's the second barrier gone. Core flip from Coin on the line, waits it out, and just taps it right in. Pass, bring it to set point.
Yeah, and not even necessarily winning off of kills. I mean, the stacks have been staying up on everybody so far. It is Coin and Tempo Melon the first to get both of their stacks online. But it seems like they are pretty confidently ruling this game right now. The Striker Kai Rasmus pickup seems to not be working out too well so far. It looks like Tempo and Coin are mainly just maneuvering the core around him, not really allowing him to get possession ever, which is always something that can happen, especially on Tycho. It's really easy to rotate the core around especially short-range midfielders. If you don't have a lot of speed, it can be really, really hard to keep up with the pace of Tycho's midfield. So we'll see if Striker Kai can make it work. He does now have stacks on stacks up along with the rest of the forwards, and it is Dragonslayer 2 the first to get both barriers down.
And now Twisty waiting up in that offensive stance here. Core, though, not playing favorably, and it will go back to pass as they look to convert, but a nice clear allows the forwards to push back up for Dragonslayers. A dash in from Twisty is able to sneak right past Coin and bump it right into the goal here as Dragonslayers able to tie it up now. And Strike Shot Enjoyer still has a flip available. We're going to have 3 flips up here for pass, though, very shortly. So that could give them a little bit of an edge, but it's yet another 0.5.
Yeah, like you said, a slight energy advantage for pass here. And they are making the early offensive push. Coin popping the X Maximus. Trades flip for flip there with Strike Shot Enjoyer and gets Striker Kai staggered almost here. Tempo still has this flip. Flips it here in front of the net, and the glitch pop follow-up. Beautiful, perfectly timed, and faster than I think I've seen any other IME do that. Like, usually there's some pretty significant linger between the flip time and when it's shot and when the glitch pop lands. That felt almost like an insta-flip there from Tempo. Some very, very impressive high-level IME tech. Will win past the first set. Give some size on over to Coin. That's the Deadeye denied away from Tempo by Twisty. Weirdly enough, Deadeye not an unusable awakening by Zentaro, especially with dash range. You can get some pretty disgusting damage procs off of the Deadeye, but Tempo's not upset at all. Extra special is always going to be welcome on IME. Striker Kai does get Stagger Swagger, though. An infamous awakening for shutting down damage playstyles and just being good in general. I don't think anybody's ever going to be sad to pick up Stagger Swagger. Mangoes gets the early spark, and we're jumping into set 2 now. Pass keeping the tempo up and running early, and I'm not just talking about their midfielder.
Yeah, there was a surprising amount of potential damage awakenings in that draft, but we haven't really seen KOs at all this game. It has not been the name of the game, and it was definitely hard to deny anything, I think, away from Tempo Melon. So I think coming out with that extra special is really, really good just for having constant cat cannons. And now more core flips coming out. Oh, Tempo actually saved it with the glitch pop. Gonna have to rectify a bit of that mistake. She does have a core flip available, so we see if that gets used here. The pressure is still mounting from pass. X Maximus from Coin, a pass up to Tempo Melon in the top corner, but the strike shot sends it back away, though. Mango's right there to send it back in. Tempo goes for the flip, but not able to find the core. Is going to receive the pass yet again. Diamond turret coming out on the top side. The clear comes out from Strike Shot Enjoyer. Now Twisty in the 1-on-2. Not able to find a barrier just yet. Brings it to the top side, though, where Coin is. And it's going to get cleared out by Dragonslayers again. Tofu Fortress comes down in the middle of the field from Mangoes. Pass trying to regain some control. A nice shot from Coin right to the middle. Splits the uprights. The Astral Projection didn't quite land, or if it did, I think Coin may have strike warded it. That was kind of crazy right there.
Yeah, that was impressive to be sure. But oh wow, a double barrier right off the bat from Dragonslayers. Coming off of that last point, you need that. You need the morale boost almost more than the barriers, because that was some impressive possession keeping from pass. But some nice defense here. Getting out a lot of abilities as well from the side of pass is going to make sure that Dragonslayers are feeling good in this point 2. And Striker Kai and Twisty finally getting in the stacks game, only 50 away from being at the same speed level as Coin and Tempo Melon have been since early last point.
Another flip available here for Tempo Melon. Pass has been getting quite a bit of energy this game. We do see a flip up here for Strike Shot Enjoyer as well. The Imi turret coming out, goes for the flip, and somehow the barrier's still up. Coin wasn't able to get it. I don't know how that clear was made, but now it's back to Twisty on the offense. 1-on-1 versus Tempo Melon here, trying to get it past. Battling in the top corner are the other forwards. Core flip getting traded all around, but not going in. Sent back around the world, and that's the barrier gone for Dragonslayers. Twisty with a shot to the bottom side. Striker Kai looking to follow up, doesn't quite find it. Now Tempo Melon back on the defense. The Tofu Fortress coming out. They're trying to clear up a Twisty in the top of the corner. Shot to the top is going to get blocked. Tempo Melon is staggered, looking for something to the top of the net, but can't find it. Coin another pass up to the top, but Ivy just can't quite reach that one. And now it's Dragonslayers back on the return. Twisty looking for the KO. Not able to find enough damage that floats back to Strike Shot Enjoyer. Pass down to Striker Kai. Twisty looking for the slice and dice. Able to just sneak it past Mangoes, who can't catch up in time. And Dragonslayers tie it at 1.
Yeah, Twisty once again demonstrating that, you're more than welcome to lead the Zentaro on the table, but you might just live to regret it. Twisty might be a little good at this character, and Dragonslayers are looking strong once more. Stacks and Stacks are up and on the table, and they've been staying alive, keeping up enough pressure that Coin and Tempo don't really have enough time to apply damage and threaten any of those KOs, but they are finally getting an offensive push of their own once more. Pass back on the prowl.
Nice expanse here from Strike Shot Enjoyer, but the pressure still on in the top corner. Firewall Sentry coming out from Tempo Melon, forcing Twisty to go and get an orb. Luckily, they have just enough time for the core getting sent back around. Now Twisty with the Zentaro ult in the goal box. Isn't able to find the point just yet, though. Striker Kai sending it back in, but a core flip from Tempo Melon. Send it back around to Dragonslayer's side of the field. Picks up one barrier. Core flip here from Coin. The punch to find the second one, and that's both sides. Now opened up, and finally a KO coming out. It's a power play. 4 passes. Striker Kai goes down. The cyber strike from Tempo Melon. That's enough to dunk it in. It's going to be a double KO as well for fun. As pass, bring it to set point.
Oh, that's not just a double KO for fun. That is a double KO to reset both of the stacks. And with a 1-point lead here, Pass is at a massive speed advantage and point advantage to close out this set, giving them an early 2-set lead. Strike Shot Enjoyer does have the defensive flip here, but it's burned immediately by a clever dribble into shot from Coin. This is a massive, massive advantage for Pass. I cannot understate how much momentum they have in this point. Mango's pushing all the way up to the midfield here with flip, drops the soup, but it does get cleared out momentarily as Tempo gets closer to a flip of her own.
And that's Coin with the second barrier, still has a few strikes on the X Maximus. Tempo with the core flip, goes for a fancy glitch pop self pass, but gets a bad angle. It goes back to Mango's, who's now on the defense. A log will send it up to Coin and into a core flip into Bull Rush. A bad angle off the bumper, though. Keeps it alive. Now Tempo Melon in the top corner trying to force it in, but just can't get it through. All 3 members of Dragonslayers, and Coin goes down to Twisty. Tempo with the steal, looking to buy some time. And goes a roll down to the bottom side, but the strike shot sends it into the corner. Striker Kai looking for a barrier. Lee Twisty who picks one up, and now Tempo looking for a breakaway play, but it's 1v3 and can't get very far. Now Twisty with the core flip gets blocked by the soup. Now back up to Tempo Melon with the glitch pop, not able to make connection. Dragonslayers push back up the field as Zentaro ult on the line, but not able to find a barrier. Now Mangoes with the core, looking for a clear angle, but Dragonslayers trying to box them in. Will find an exit to the top side. Tempo in the top corner now has a firewall sentry set up. Coin has some time to get up there, but Dragonslayers will make the clear. And now Coin trying to push back up, but Tempo a little bit too far back. A glitch pop to send it back up to Coin. Now the forward's in position. Core flip has to get burnt there from Striker Kai to get sent back around yet again. Twisty versus Tempo in the midfield. Twisty able to buy some time and a little bit of space as Striker Kai pushing up, looking for the barrier. A great resurrection from Strike Shot Enjoyer, and that's both sides now opened up. Striker Kai in the bottom side. Strike Shot Enjoyer pushing up. Does have a flip available. Twisty looking for it to cut the pass, but not able to make any good connections right there. Coin on the bottom side as pass rotates back. Tempo Melon gets flipped right on, but the save from Mangoes stops it from going right in as the point continues on. Twisty looking for a shot to the top, just barely able to sneak it through. And finally, Dragonslayers tying it again on set point.
Yeah, some fantastic plays from, I think, everybody that point. In particular, though, yeah, wow, that resurrection from Strike Shot Enjoyer was crazy. I also saw Mangoes do a really cool clear off the Tycho center drum that kind of zigzagged across past his side of the field before going back over to Dragonslayer's side. And Twisty and Striker Kai are now the ones with the speed advantage in this 5th point. It's Coin who's lagging a little bit behind in the stacks count. but undoubtedly will be able to get where, especially with this X Maximus popping right here, going all in for this bottom barrier, and they will manage to find it. Tempo has the flip here, flips it in front of the net. Coin goes in, wins the strike war on the goal line. That'll be a 2-set lead for Pass.
Yeah, first big lead of this series for Pass. We see Tempo going to be the MVP after that hard-fought battle. Just a couple crucial things showing up here. We see Fight or Flight always being good, but we also see some size, some Twin Drive and Prime Time both showing their faces. But of course, it will be Fight or Flight going to Tempo Melon. Might of the Colossus on the Rasmus. Coin, a couple options. Going to pick up the Heavy Impact, though. Few options here for this Atlas. Going to wait it out, though. It'll be Prime Time for Twisty and Twin Drive for the Atlas, and a second spark just going to go over to Mangoes. That is 2 sparks on this Dubu, but pretty much everyone getting something they like there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is unhappy with that draft, but certainly the only speed benefits going to Mangoes and Tempo, both for the side of Pass, is a little scary. Because the speed economy in this game has been incredibly volatile, as we predicted. And when it is in Pass's favor, they appear to just be running over nonstop. So we'll see if that trend continues. For now, it is Dragonslayers making the impressive push up and getting both barriers.
2 core flips available here for Pass, but it's Striker Kai with a Strike War win. Just as Pass were beginning to rotate down, Coin thought that he won that, but Striker Kai just barely struck second and was able to sneak it right in, stealing off that first point here for Dragonslayers. Oh my gosh.
Oh my, what a double barrier. And Coin already has the flip locked and loaded, falling back to midfield to hopefully get it cleared out. But Twisty's low. The glitch pop will keep her low, but doesn't even need the flip. Tempo will just find a demon angle right around Strike Shot Enjoyer. And that'll be a 1-1 tied up set. Once more, Coin and Tempo finding an easier job taking these slip kicks up. Just both Aimi and X doing so much collateral damage. I have to imagine that, you know, just having a million AoE abilities plus that turret that just hits things for fun is guaranteed to get these stacks on stacks up and running quickly. Already Coin getting to 150 right there. And we're right back into the throes of it. Dragonslayers doing their best to make the most of this situation.
Turret now coming out as Coin picking up that first barrier here for Pass. There's a core flip available for Strike Shot Enjoyer, and now Twisty as well, but Dragonslayers confined to their goal box a little bit as Tempo Melon and Coin just keeping the pressure on. The Atlas ult getting used a little bit early there to just keep the health up. Coin, Tempo Melon, both forced to that top lane. It will allow a bit of breathing room here for Dragonslayers as core flips getting traded by Twisty and Mangoes. That's one barrier down. The Zentaro is going to bring down another. There's an open goal for Pass. Core flip here from Strike Shot Enjoyer, but not able to do anything with it. It gets back to Coin, who finds the second barrier as both sides opened here in overtime. Now Coin looking for a shot to the top. Tempo trying to find a rebound, but Twisty forces it back through. And now 2 forwards pushing up with Coin with the core flip. It's able to send it back to the midfield. Twisty bringing it down. Looking for Striker Kai to do something, but Mango's able to find a way out of it. Dragonslayers looking to reset the pressure here. Get back into position. Coin buying some time, though, in the midfield. Gets it back into this top corner, and now the pressure in Pass's favor. Pops the X Maximus, brings it down to Tempo, but Striker Kai doing a good job covering her. Now back up to Twisty, looking for a shot to the top or something, potentially. No, the Zen ult going to get shut down. A slice and dice to the bottom. Tempo, what a save. Core flip from Twisty. Doesn't have the angle. And Pass continue to keep the defense up. Mango's up to the top side, trying to find a way to clear it out of here, but so far Dragonslayers just keeping the pressure mounting with this speed. Twisty looking for a dribble into dash. Tempo with the core flip has to save that one. Sets up a defensive turret here. Gets it back to Coin in the midfield, but Striker Kai continues to win strike wars and just keeps sending it back in. Finally, an opportunity for some offense here for Pass. Not able to do much, though. Dragonslayers quickly shut that down. Sends it back in here. Striker Kai with Twisty. Ult on the line. A core flip, though, from Mango's. Real patient with it to send it back around. Now Tempo with the dribble in the midfield, looking to get it to Coin, but the speed is a little bit too much. Almost a self-goal from Striker Kai, but the core flip from Strike Shot Enjoyer able to keep it safe. The Tofu Fortress coming out in the midfield. Coin not able to force it through Twisty, though, as shots continue to rain down on Pass's net. And now pushing up, Dragonslayers, they're looking for the point, but a nice save here from Tempo Melon. Wins the strike for, but eventually getting back to Twisty. The slice and dice finally enough to force it through and beat the somersault. A slog of a point, but Dragonslayers will take it.
Yeah, what a crazy, crazy long point, and I cannot commend Twisty enough for her work there, because it has been pretty consistent. Twisty has had to make the most of occasional offensive pushes, right? I mean, look at her go right now, consistently getting Dubu abilities out left and right, and oftentimes all on her own, like Striker Kai not even able to come up on offense a lot of the times. It's impressive because Pass is having to, you know, consistently keep possession against a twin drive Atlas for, you know, multiple tens of seconds, and Twisty is just getting the occasional push here and making the most of it, doing a really good job of it. But Dragonslayers are putting themselves back in this game, even 2 sets down. They're 1 point up and looking to take their first set of the game.
Flip here from Tempo Melon, forced off of that strike shot. Now they'll get some big corner pressure here. They get 1 barrier and earn the goalie's core flip as well. Coin looking worse for wear, has to fall back and recover just a little bit as Twisty looking for the KO. Might be able to get a double bouncer, sends them flying, and that's Coin down. A power play for Dragonslayers. Twisty with a shot to the net. Brought to Zen, pops the core flip and sends it right to the top corner through Mangoes. And Dragonslayers 2 steal away the set and stay in game 2.
Twisty has the number. What can I say? Twisty has the number. A well-deserved set MVP for her. And lots of attractive things on the table here for Zentaro. Explosive entrance, probably the most stereotypical one. But some people would be eyeing Rapid Fire to pair with Primetime here. Possibly Stinger. Possibly a Spark denial from this Dubu, who's about to get triple Spark. Nope, it just floats right down to Mangoes. That is a triple Spark Dubu. And instead, it'll be a double size deny away from Coin, who will instead opt for Explosive Entrance. That doesn't leave much for Striker Kai, although I have to admit, I'm surprised that Stinger was the pickup there. Especially because, I mean, again, speed has seemed to be a massive, massive deficit for Striker Kai. So there was aerials on the table there, could have gotten some more haste off of the Rasmus secondary, but perhaps he knows something that I don't. We're jumping now into set 4, and Coin is looking worse for wear, already staggered on Dragonslayer's side of the field.
Now maybe that's the reason maybe we're picking up Stinger here, is they saw that it is possible to actually kill Coin in that last set. If you just kind of focus them, and they're like, hey, let's incorporate that in the game plan as well. But I think a lot of eyes right now are on this triple Spark Dubu. Speed, of course, is a big weakness of these melee goalies, and we've seen Twisty just kind of outpace them a couple of times, as well as just get some nice redirects with the slice and dice, and with that extra speed, those extra cooldowns, it's going to help out quite a lot on Pass's defense to just make these go even longer. So we head into overtime with both goals opened up. Twisty down a flip, but Striker Kai about to have one available. Tempo Melon with a breakaway play, looking for the 2-on-1. The X-Maximus gets popped, sends the Atlas reeling, and that's a goalie power play, but a core flip, Striker Kai almost gets it in. What a save from Mangoes. The somersault keeps it alive, and now it's Twisty who's looking really rough. Has the recovery drone available. So far, Dragonslayers making the saves, though, that they need to, and their goalie's back online. What a power play kill from Dragonslayers. And back to 3v3. Tempo with the glitch pop. Self-pass to herself and into the bottom corner. That's going to be the point for Pass. They come up with it eventually.
Well played, Pass. Well frickin' played. I got to call out, I mean, obviously that Mango's roll was sick. This guy is going to have a much easier time this set. I mean, the words triple spark. We hear those words. We cower in fear. But in particular, it was the Spark of Focus that was picked up. Probably the most valuable spark, at least on goalie, but honestly might be the most valuable
especially
anywhere.
On Dubu.
Yeah, Dubu freaking loves cooldown, right? So certainly Mangos is going to have a much easier time. Has had to burn a lot against Twisty, and already she's back having him burn even more. So just getting those abilities back faster is going to patch up a little bit of the hole that allowed Dragonslayers to pick up a set last point. That's a clean double barrier from Tempo Melon, though, with the flip, and the barrier advantage falls to pass.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for more for that. You get both barriers with the flip, and you got Strike Shot Enjoyer's flip as well. But now Coin looking worse for wear. As Striker Kai with the core flip sends it in, picks up the barrier. Coin trying to fight for his life, but gets taken off the field now. The power play for Dragonslayers, and Twisty's got a flip available. Mango's trying to keep it away, but the Zatara with the core flip to the top corner sinks it right in. Dragonslayers tying it up yet again, 1-1, keeping this game really interesting.
Twisty is in Mango's head. In Mango's head. Oceanfront property in this guy's frontal lobe. I believe that was a blink self-pass on kickoff from Tempo Melon. That was the hyper blink! That was Zen passive into Zen ult trying to mix up Mango's. Luckily, he was fast enough this time. Well played to catch that on the barrier, but Twisty is pulling out some seriously fancy stuff this game. Some really high-tech Zen stuff. But Striker Kai's showing off here, gliding in front of the net with that Rasmus secondary. Doesn't find anything, though. It's pass, going back for their barriers.
And they'll pick up one here off of the glitch pop. They look for a second one. Coin has a flip now available. Tempo Melon able to recover the core. Core flip here from Coin. The Sentry also coming out, but all three members of Dragonslayers trying to hold it down. A core flip from Tempo Melon finally able to bring it down, and both sides will be opened up here. Clear here from Twisty, but Mango setting up shop in the midfield, dropping the Tofu Fortress. Coin not quite able to pick up the core. Mango's have to send it back in, but Coin gonna get taken down yet again, and now Twisty with the shot to the top. Mango's able to find it with the somersault and save it on the power play. Tempo in the 1v3, just trying to buy some time. Sets up the Firewall Sentry. Dragonslayers can't get it through, and there'll be some precious seconds gone. Tempo continuing to get shots on the net as Coin will respawn here. Pops VX Maximus early, looking for the pressure. But Dragonslayers finding the clear now. Tempo Melon just hovering around the top side, waiting to make something happen. But now the pressure going here from Dragonslayers. Looking for the clear. Tempo able to find it back around, and now Coin with the dribble on the bell ringer. He is back up to Twisty. Core flip quickly from Mango's to prevent anything bad from happening. But Twisty with another opportunity with the Zen ult. Doesn't burn the flip just yet. Now in the bottom corner goes for it. But Dubu just blocking it with the hot dog. But what? What happened?
Good there, Mango's. That is highly unfortunate.
I think Mango's just misread where that was going and just didn't strike. That's really unfortunate. Mango's absolutely
It was a
locked
really
in.
sneaky strike.
Mango's locked in for like quite a bit there, and then yeah, it just got called out, and that's Dragonslayers now 2-1.
Yeah, but Pass is making the most of that situation. Now coming back, getting a 20-second point once more, and putting themselves up to match point. I think that's fine. I think Passive just atoned for the sin that happened last point, and we're all good. We're now on another 5th point. These have been relatively common in this series. It's been, we've seen like 4 or 5 5th point sets at this point. It's kind of crazy.
Almost every set has been a 5th point. At this point, I think it'd be a shame if it didn't go to a game 3, right? But a double barrier after sneaking through the Tofu Fortress here. That's both sides down, but there's the goalie gone! And Pass making quick work off of that power play. The second goalie KO they've gotten this game, and they'll pick up the point. Pass taking game 2, and as predicted now, we will be going on to a game number 3. Oh my, what a series this has been so far. Will continue to be. We take a look at the stats here real quick. A lot of redirects there from Tempo Melon. 359 is quite a bit. It's quite a bit.
And also still outputting more damage than anyone else on the enemy team. We gotta love this Aimee character.
60,000 damage, by the way, from Coin.
Yeah, but it's still Twisty that gets 5 KOs. That's that consistent kill confirm coming through. I have to admit that the game plan of trying to kill Coin was working there for a minute. Like that seemed like a really, really good game plan, but Tempo was able to maintain possession so effectively. Like, I definitely think that the Rasmus midfield was, though Striker Kai was definitely not crumbling under Tempo Melon. Let's not imply that. Striker Kai was holding against Tempo Melon, winning interactions against Tempo Melon very, very well that game. But it was just a matter of like Rasmus not having as much midfield presence as the IME definitely showed. It definitely showed. Tempo was able to keep possession far more effectively, and was definitely applying more pressure more consistently. It seemed like Striker Kai, rocking 40 saves, plays into this point, was confined to defense for most of that game, which is always a shame when your midfielder is not able to break out onto offense very frequently. That will be game 2 going over to pass. Now we're headed to a game 3. What map is it that we're looking at now? It looks like it's Clarion. What are you expecting to see here, Lego?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I don't know, but it is a prime time Among Titans start. Clarion, I mean, kind of anything goes on this map. You know, y'all know how it is. You know the drill at this point. With this, but yeah, I don't know. There's so many options kind of open. We could see the rune again. I'm not even joking. Primetime rune on coin on this map.
I think it would be Among Titans rune more likely.
You think it'd be Among Titans rune?
Yeah,
well,
speed is one of Rune's big weaknesses.
I think Rune is on the table here, weirdly enough. Okay, but Pass is going to ban the Octavia again. Dragonslayers will be banning the Rasmus this time. Yeah, they don't like the Octavia here at all. Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I would have thought that they wouldn't have minded the Octavia too much, but maybe she is just that good. I don't know. Certainly Striker Kai has a formidable Octavia. Something that I'm predicting that might happen here, we might see the Twisty Kazan come out.
There it is.
They might run Twisty Primetime and then run the other two Among Titans. And there we go.
What they're doing.
Yeah,
That's exactly what they're doing.
The size to early size on Kazan with Primetime. That is crazy strong. Especially if you can win the early sets and get some survivability on that guy and deny away kill awakenings that, make it hard for him to stay alive. Like, that's a scary, scary Kazan looking to come out. It is the X picked up here by Pass once more for coin. Are they just going to run back the same comp? Are we going to see a Tempo Melon IME here, or is this going to be a now? Surely this will be a now, right?
No, it's going to be the IME.
No, it's the IME. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the same thing from past year. I'm curious what the goalie pick's going to be for Dragonslayers, if they're going to do the Atlas again. It looks like they will, actually. Because we got to assume it's going to be double Among Titans, just to get that extra value. Which means you do give up the Primetime Atlas, but they're putting their faith in the Twisty Primetime double-sized Kazan, which admittedly is pretty good thing to put your faith in, I would think. So, yeah, well, this is gonna be this is just gonna be another match. If last match was Twisty versus Mangoes, basically trying to like fight the world for Dragonslayers, this is just gonna be that like squared basically, because there is. It is literally Mangoes on Dubu versus Gigabuff Twisty. That is the narrative of this match, and that is Dragonslayer's whole plan here. If Twisty is not able to do well, I think they just going to absolutely fall apart, because we saw how effective Tempo Melon and Coin were on these picks last time.
Well, we do have Striker Kai though. I think that a lot of last match was Striker Kai being on a bit of a weird pick, not having as much presence in the midfield. Now we have this dude on Kai. It's literally his namesake. This guy is going to be a much bigger force to be reckoned with. Is going to be giving Tempo Melon a run for her money, undoubtedly. I'll be interested to see if Coin opts for Among Titans or Primetime here. It will be Among Titans. Oh, actually, it's Among Titans all around. Okay, Twisty is not going to be running big Primetime Kazan, which that's what I would have done. But yeah, it is interesting. Also interesting is sticking to the Mag Souls pickup. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Mag Souls Kazan. but I also am not as good as Twisty. So she knows something I don't. And we're staying true to the Mag Souls enjoyers that are Dragon Slayer 2. We're jumping into game 3, and Twisty keeping possession here and getting up to level 2 in the first 30 seconds of the game bodes well for Dragon Slayers.
Yeah, it's a quick double barriers for Dragon Slayers. Early on in this first point, Coin able to pick up 1 in return. But on this bouncer map especially, that triple among Titans and those Mag Souls are definitely allowing Dragon Slayers to do a lot more rotations to get more out of their speed here. There's a core flip here from Striker Kai, blocked by the somersault. A core flip's got to come out from Mangoes, though, to send it back upfield. Tempo Melon looking for the pass up to Coin, who has the X Maximus, but Twisty doing a good job just covering her and not letting too many passes get through. Core flip here from Strike Shot Enjoyer to send it out, and Twisty with the dash into Strike War, pressing the point through. Mangoes will be able to pick up the first point here for Dragon Slayers.
Yeah, you don't need prime time or size on that Kazan if you are willing to play opportunistically like that. And this is once more just the trend of Twisty having Mango's number, knowing exactly when and where he wanted to clear, being there to capitalize on it. But it is past getting early barriers here, and they do have the energy advantage. That's Coin burning for this first barrier, but finding nothing initially.
Yeah, a lot of damage here, though, on the forwards of Dragon Slayers. Coin, you can see, is hunting right now for Twisty. Pops the X Maximus, but loses her just a little bit there. Tempo Melon just ping-ponging with Striker Kai in the corner for quite a bit of time. Not able to find much, though. Finally rotating up to the top side. The Glitch Pop will be able to bring down that second barrier and open up Dragon Slayer's side of the field. Ooh.
Wow. Okay, goodbye, Mangoes. That is the size debuff. Powerhouse Pauldrons putting Mangoes close enough to the wall that just a Kazan open primary was able to do it. And there's Twisty with another well-timed flip, bringing it up to 2-0 in favor of Dragon Slayers. Along with an energy advantage, Striker Kai managing to hold on to that flip between points. This is probably going to be an early set for Dragon Slayers, but maybe Pass can undo the last couple points and make something happen here. We're moving now into yet another classic of this series, which is just both teams going back and forth, trying to maintain possession. But Dragon Slayers successfully snagging 2 barriers. Striker Kai does go down for the count, has to go back for an orb after being staggered. Tempo Melon following suit. But that Kazan, Twisty, hunting for a kill here, likely to find one. There she goes. Twisty now hunting in front of the net for a goal, as Striker Kai and Twisty both staggered by Coin's flip. Mangoes sending it back up, defending it away. Coin manages to find a reciprocal KO as Tempo Melon comes back online. A brief power play here for the side of Pass. Striker Kai staggered, but now healed by the orb. Strike Shot Enjoyer keeping the barrier alive as Tempo and Coin trying to find a passing play here, but Twisty and Striker Kai successfully interrupting all of that, bringing back to another neutral state as Striker Kai and Twisty now linked back up in the midfield. Mangoes and Strike Shot Enjoyer both holding on to defensive flips here. The barrier advantage still solidly on the side of Dragon Slayers. Strike Shot not having to burn the flip yet, but there it comes, and the X Maximus is big enough to catch the flip. Coin bringing down that second barrier as Tempo and Mangoes both with flips of their own in the back, looking to close out the point here, hopefully tie up the set. Coin goes wide, but finds the strike, threads the needle between midfielder and goalie, and that'll be the first point on the board for Pass this game. They're not down for the count yet. They'll stay in the set.
So it looks like after the mic troubles earlier, Lego's power went out and his internet's gone, so I guess I'll tag in, but Cloak, it's been a crazy series so far, right? We're already at game 3, and so much energy on the side of Pass. This is a huge opportunity, but with Striker Kai so massive and not KO'd by Coin, this could be still an advantage for Dragonslayers too. But Strike Shot Enjoyer flipped off the map. Tempo Melon, what a clutch play, and now they're pushing the advantage here in the power play in the corner. One barrier already down, looking for 2 here, and Coin is low though, so gotta be very careful here.
Coin low, Twisty low as well, but that Atlas ult will resolve some of that problem for Dragonslayers. Good patience there from Strike Shot Enjoyer, waiting out the glitch pop, but Tempo does manage to find the barrier shortly thereafter anyways. Twisty taken out by the bell ringer, caught mid-animation, and with a core flip as well. Tragic for Dragonslayers. That's Coin winning a strike war on the goal line, tying up the set. Pass, keeping it in here. Welcome back, Lego Mage. How's your power doing?
Yeah. We're back. Yeah, I don't know. It's not even thundering. It's just raining, and it just fucking... My bad. It just flickered like 3 times, and my internet just kind of shot itself. So, yeah, we're back now. Well, I'm almost back though. I have to restart the game.
Tempo just got a kill combo there with Aimee, and Pass have another power play under their belt. Twisty has not gotten to play much these past couple points, but she's back now. We're on the Atlas Orb variant, and Tempo is about to get another flip. Both barriers down for Dragonslayers, Pass angling for their first set. It's a fantastic flip angle. That'll secure the first set for Pass. Moving into this draft, Tempo Melon will be looking at a set MVP to hopefully claim some bis.
Okay. We're back in the game. We're back on everything, and now I can actually see what is going on. Very cool. Yeah. Wow, it's... Lucky for me, only 1 set has gone by since I left, but Fight or Flight's a really good reward here for Tempo Melon. A job well done holding it down during the power outage. First part going over to Striker Kai. Some size on Coin here. Cast Celeste for the Atlas. Not a lot of things to pick up, but it's such a weird feeling seeing Cast Celeste going to a goalie before Orb Replicator at this point. But on this map, it's just not like it's just lost so much value due to the changes. But we do see the 1-2 punch over here on Twisty regardless, and a pretty decent draft overall. Though Tempo Melon has gotten Fight or Flight, I think, every game so far.
Yeah, she has picked it up at least 3.
Oh,
yeah, every game. Yeah, I was about to say at least
so
3 of the games. There's only 3 games in a series. Yeah. Wow, yeah, you're absolutely right. But barriers traded evenly on both sides. I will say Twisty getting this 1-2 punch is certainly a massive boon. I'm unsure if 1-2 punch Kazan is able to red core on its own in overtime. I don't think it is, especially after the decreases in closed strike strength. But that's not going to stop her from grabbing a second barrier here and getting an early barrier advantage for Dragonslayers.
And core flips going off now as they're trying to force the second barrier, but Twisty picks up the KO on the Coin. And now it's the power play for Dragonslayers. Twisty down to Striker Kai, right back up to Twisty. So looking to get it around Tempo Melon. It'll just be a strike war from Striker Kai here. Mango's not committing the flip to that. And will be the first point going over to Dragonslayers. Probably worth saving the flip there, especially when you're against the power play. And it's only the first point. So Pass just looking to reset and go next.
Yeah, and certainly this 1-2 punch Kazan is pressuring these walls a lot more. Those open primaries are scary, scary things with 1-2 punch. And with Coin having this size, he is at particular threat. Good flip angle there from Strike Shot Enjoyer to clear it and snipe a barrier from across the map. Mango's immediately forced all of his cooldowns out, and both barriers are very quickly gone due to some good timed strikes and ability chains from Twisty. Still has a flip in front of the net, by the way, and if her team can get just one more core up to her, will likely be able to get a 2-point lead here.
Up here from Twisty off the dash, but the somersault able to stop it. But able to find the follow-up. The pressure's still on from Dragonslayers as Twisty still keeping that aggressive stance, looking for Striker Kai to get it through Coin. A little bit of help here from Strike Shot Enjoy the barrage, and Twisty with the top spin.
Oh my god!
A perfect setup. Was waiting for it. and was rewarded. Dragonslayers bringing it to set point now. That was a crazy way to score.
Yeah, it doesn't get cleaner than that. Two of the enemy team walking right into a primary that you already had set up to secure the goal. Just a nice little bit of XP on top. But Tempo is soloing barriers right now as Coin runs up to join her from the midfield. And we're looking at a similar replay of last set. Pass saying, you scored the first 2 points? Okay, we'll just not let that happen again. They're going to try to make a replay of it and get a 2-set lead.
Now, a core flip available here for Coin, but taking a lot of damage, has to burn it to stay alive. Pushing up the field, though, doesn't have any energy and is really staggered, but so is Twisty, who's looking to also stay alive and not die, looking for this KO as this fight goes on in the middle, but Striker Kai and Tempo in the 1v1, and it'll be Striker Kai coming up with that barrier, but now Striker Kai is really looking hurt. As the Fireball Sentry comes out, Strike Shot Enjoyer forced back with the forward so hurt, but Twisty picks up the KO, using the flip onto Coin. And now it's the power play for Dragonslayers coming out on the better end of all of that damage. Striker Kai brings it to the top corner here. Tempo Melon falling back on the defense. The Coin now respawning a pass to Tempo. Almost goes in, but the Strike Shot able to save it. Now back to the middle. Striker Kai bringing it up, but Tempo Melon stealing the pass. A pass up to Coin, bringing it to the bottom side. Not able to find much, and now Twisty with a breakaway, a hook, bring it to the bottom, but Mangoes with the roll, able to stop it yet again, and now Twisty another opportunity, but Mangoes finds the clear. Striker Kai up to Twisty in the top corner, there's the top spin. Tempo clears it out with the cyber swipe, though. And now Tempo looking for another clear, try and force it past Twisty here. A lot of damage coming in as Coin falls back to the X-Maximus, and that's Twisty gone, the power play. 4 pass, but Mangoes not able to reach the core, it's moving a little too fast on the rebound, and just flies right into the goal. Dragonslayers 2 sneak out another one, and they're going to tie that up now 1-1 on sets, and Twisty getting first pick.
Yeah, and with size on the table, pretty sure I know what she's eyeing. There is also a second spark on the table for Striker Kai, but Tempo is posturing to deny that. We'll make sure that Striker Kai does not get to scale anymore. Still plenty good on the table for this Kai, though. Rapid Fire and Aerials, both here. Rapid Fire will be picked up by Mangoes. Actually opts for the Spec training instead, wants to threaten even more wall pressure with the Gigas. I mean, there's a nasty combo here. I bet we see it at least once, where Striker Kai and Striker Kai's Giga Blast and Twisty's Open Primary just combo somebody off the wall from a ridiculous distance. We'll have to keep an eye out for it. I'm almost certain that it'll happen at least once. But certainly, that is a fantastic, fantastic draft for the side of Dragonslayers. I don't think Pass is unhappy with the draft, but definitely they got the slightly shorter end of the stick. But they did get a power play here as well, and are looking strong moving into set 3.
There's 2 prize fighter stacks now on Coin. So looking to bring out some barriers, but Strike Shot Enjoyer, Striker Kai holding it down on the defense, keeping both of them alive, and now Twisty comes right back online. The power play killed off the barrage here from Striker Kai, gets a barrier soon after. Now it's a big momentum swing there for Dragonslayers. Tempo trying to force it through this bottom lane. Strike Shot Enjoyer burns the flip on nothing and will lose a barrier there. Pressure mounting from Pass. That's a flip burnt and a barrier lost. Both sides now opened up. Coin with the dribble, but doesn't find the point. Gets it back up to Twisty, though. Tempo with the strike war to send it back around. Coin looking to cut off the pass. A pass down Tempo looking to the top side. A strike shot. Able to save it away. And Twisty with the steal on the hook. Brings it to the top corner. Can't make too much happen other than Mangoes has to touch the core. But he'll just send it right back up to the forwards of Pass. Coin looking to get it past Striker Kai. The barrage making that difficult. Not able to find a good clear here from Dragonslayers. Tempo holding the midfield down pretty well. Gets it back up to Coin with the X-Maximus. The Astral Projection blocks the shot. Striker Kai still looking for a pass angle to Twisty. But Tempo Melon doing a good job with the coverage. Twisty finally able to get one pass, but it just gets sent back right around. Tempo Melon will lose the strike forward there, but Mangoes just sends it right back in. Core flip from Striker Kai. Gets sent around the world, but Twisty able to recover. A core flip from Mangoes. A core flip to Coin. And a shot right to the top side. Pass. Take the first point in set 3.
Yeah, we have core speed on both of the brawlers now in overtime. Just that 2 prize fighter stacks is enough to give Coin the power necessarily to red core, and Twisty having that 1-2 punch is doing a similar job. But Twisty might be dead soon. I don't know. It's strange because Tempo and Coin, they don't really have a consistent kill confirm. They just pressure like a lot of knockback and damage. They don't have like a combo that really confirms a staggered player though. So they're having trouble securing these KOs, Twisty being allowed to stay alive and actually heal to full there. But Coin will be the one grabbing the orb in the center. This X is about to go Insano mode.
Two flips available here. Twisty taking a lot of damage, but has the Atlas healing. Coin, I think, still wants to hover for that KO if possible, but Core is calling, and priorities have changed now. A bull rush for that second barrier. Core flip here from Tempo Melon's going to get blocked. Core flip here from Coin on the line, and nothing left to stop that one. Pass. Pick up a second point now on set points. Looking to get ahead.
Yeah, definitely Coin was hoping for a third prize fighter stack there, but a point is hardly a bad consolation prize. It's about as good of a consolation prize as you can get. And they're grabbing early barriers here. I'm a little surprised at how much Pass seems to be ruling the game this set. It seems like possession has constantly been on their side. Doesn't really get cleared too much. They're getting KOs and power plays. Coin is at 3 prize fighter stacks now. It seems like their windfall has finally hit. Mango is walking all the way up to the midfield line to get this barrier take, while Strike Shot Enjoyer and Twisty do a fantastic job holding it down. But just barely, their barrier gets taken, and Pass are on the verge of grabbing another set here.
And Twisty taking quite a bit of damage. Tempo wasn't quite able to land the cyber swipe. They still have an open goal to work with. Coin with a pass down to the middle. But Dragonslayers defense will hold. Send it back around. Mangoes with a clear here to Coin. Sends it around the expanse, but Strike Shot Enjoyer able to catch up to it in time. And now Coin, taking too much damage, going to have to fall back here to try and stay alive. Twisty hovering for this KO. Striker Kai pushing up. That's one barrier gone, and now the power play. Twisty with the Strike War win for the second barrier. Opens up the goal. Pass up to Twisty. Brings it down to Striker Kai. It's on the bottom side. Has to face the Tofu Fortress, though, and just can't get it through. A Giga Blast to send it back in, but Mangoes finds the clear. Now Twisty looking for the Strike War into top spin, but Mangoes finds the clear. Now Coin back alive. Gets it down to Tempo Melon. Dribbling up the field. A bull rush to force through. Strike Shot Enjoyer brings it back around for Twisty, though. Mango sending it back in. Twisty with the core flip here. A pass up to the center. Doesn't get too much momentum off of that bounce. And it's just back into the corner here for Pass on the defense. Twisty looking for the hook. Doesn't quite find the shot. Tempo with the dribble. Trying to get it past, but Twisty making this difficult. Finally a clear over to Coin, but a core flip here from Strike Shot Enjoyer is going to just stall it out. Nowhere to send that. And now it's Coin putting on the pressure. Pops the X Maximus. Tempo Melon pushing up with the core flip on the line. Goes for the glitch pop, but just gets the wrong angle on it. And now Giga Blast coming in, and it's just at an alarming speed. Striker Kai catching Mangoes a little too close to the goal line, and sinks in the core as well. Dragonslayers 2 put themselves on the board.
Yeah, the first time we've seen that specialized training pickup come into play for Striker Kai. They also managed to run away with a prize fighter stack from Coin there. So very well done from them. Twisty getting this size has been massive, pun intended, for this set. Like, Twisty taking up that much more space on the field, having these huge strikes to contest Mango and Mangoes and Tempo has been really big. She's going to grab another barrier here, and Dragonslayers now looking to do a redo of what Pass did in set 1, reverse sweeping the set, but they still have 2 points left to go if they want to make it happen. A nice little mix-up there from Twisty, almost gets the point, but Mangoes was there to catch it. Striker Kai now staggered in the midfield. It's going to be a little bit longer before Dragonslayers are able to make this happen.
Fourth up here from Mangoes. A pass up to Coin. Forces Strike Shot Enjoyer to flip it out of there. Now Coin looking for another opportunity, though, but it's Twisty who takes over in the top corner. Mangoes has to clear it back around, but Twisty getting another chance. Mangoes with the somersault saves it. Now Twisty with the crooked leverage. It gets back to Coin now. Pops the X Maximus in the top corner here. The bell ringer almost picks up a KO, but not quite. Twisty still barely alive, and now Coin taking a lot of damage in return. Viral Sentry comes out from Tempo Melon, but doesn't find too much. And Twisty picks up the KO. It's a power play for Dragonslayers. Mangoes and Tempo just got to keep the core alive. a nice somersault to buy some time. And that should be Coin coming back, though. Twisty with the quick leverage, getting knocked around. She's still staggered is the problem, and just can't commit too hard without getting KO'd here. Striker Kai trying to get it back up. Twisty still trying to recover. X Maximus here from Coin forces Twisty to evade. Finally has some health back. And Striker Kai trying to send it in, but it's a 1v3 for Twisty. And just can't force it past the Fireball Sentry set up at the perfect spot. Bad angle on the Expanse. It's Pass who come up lucky with the points. And they'll take the set as well. Coin gonna be the MVP for that one.
Yeah, that was a close point for Pass. It could have easily gone the other direction, but they held on through the power play. They're rewarded with a Coin set MVP. Will be denying away another spark from Striker Kai. Doesn't want that Giga Blast getting any more strength. But it will still get a little bit more strength with Explosive Entrance. That's a very valuable pickup. Tempo Melon gets extra special once more on the Aimee. Mango's getting Might for the third time this series on Pauldron's Dubu. Lots of common themes that we're seeing replayed over and over and over again. But Twisty getting cooldown reduction, that reverb falling all the way back to last pick is pretty surprising to me. Stagger, obviously going to be very valuable on Kazan, who doesn't have a lot of it to work with. And going up against this Aimee X, you're oftentimes really in need of it. And then getting that cooldown reduction on top of it is a crazy valuable pick for you to get in the last draft spot. So neither team's upset with this. But if Pass can take one more set, they will be claiming the landing spot here. So there's a lot on the line here as we move into set 4.
A lot on the line indeed. Twisty getting bell ringered into the center, almost getting taken out. Coin probably going to pick it up, yeah, with the X Maximus into core flip. Will bring the power play to Pass. Striker Kai, a great clear to the bottom side. It's just going to buy so much time. Pass are not going to be able to do anything with this, really. And Twisty just comes right back online. Tempo does have a flip available. Should Pass find themselves needing to use it, but right now battling over this top lane. Not much comes of it, but a lot of damage getting shared around. A top spin here from Twisty is answered with the core flip from Mango, who finds just barely enough of that barrier to open up the goal. Now Coin a pass down to Tempo, looking for the core flip here to the bottom side. The cyber swing, the hit stun, gets the KO, and Tempo sinks it home. That was kind of crazy. Core flip it, kill the goalie, but miss the core, and then go back to shoot the shot. Crazy.
Well, and Tempo doesn't even have damage awakenings. Like, that was literally just like a spur-of-the-moment spot of Strike Shot Enjoyer being too far back in the goal box. Pops that recovery drone. Who knows? It might mean something later. It definitely helped score that point right there, but not having a recovery drone on the goalie, it wouldn't be the first time that Pass has found KOs onto Strike Shot Enjoyer. I wouldn't be surprised if they found one again. Right now, though, they're finding his barriers. That's another one down, and Pass is looking strong as ever in this game and in this series.
Flip there, blocked by Tempo Melon. As now Pass looking to get this offense going yet again with all that momentum, but that momentum getting shut down as Coin launch off the field, still in X Maximus form. Another power play here for Dragonslayers. Tempo, though, just doing a good job winning the strike wars against Twisty, just buys so much time. Does not allow anything to happen there. Soup coming out from Mangoes, but the core just going to phase through it naturally, as it does, and bring down the barrier, break the audio as well. And now it's an open goal for Pass, off a bit of a Dubu moment. Twisty and Mangoes both with flips available. Be a crucial interaction for this potential set point for Pass. Coin, though, doing a good job holding onto the core. The bell ringer triple. Core flip here from Strike Shot Enjoyer, but the glitch pop call out from Tempo Melon steals the barrier off of the clear. And now it's both sides opened up. Twisty, though, looking to receive the core. Core flip comes out from Mangoes first to clear it out of there, but it gets right back to Striker Kai. Pass to Twisty. Go for the flip, but Tempo Melon trades. It doesn't go very far at all. And Twisty with the top spin, able to capitalize on the miss angle from the clear and tie the game at 1-1.
Yeah, this is some fantastic. We've used the word capitalize to describe what Twisty does a lot this series, but in particular this game. It seems like she's constantly... wow, okay, that was an incredibly fast 10-second point from Dragonslayers there. Striker Kai there being the one to cover Twisty's push. But usually it's the other way around, right? Striker Kai sets something up, and then Twisty is just kind of there with an ability in range to make a play off of it. They do a really good job of it. A really, really good job of it. And that will put them up a point in this set, but certainly Coin and Tempo Melon are looking scary, grabbing both barriers early on in this point.
Yeah, falling apart just a little bit there for past that last point, but hopefully able to recover now as Coin with the flip. It's going to get blocked by Twisty, but they have an open goal to work with here. A glitch pop pass up to Coin, but all three members of Dragonslayers will be on the defense to hold it down. Now Tempo dribbling back up the field, trying to pass it to Coin. The Expanse going to block that off, and now Tempo Melon with the core shot to the top off the Cyber Swipe redirect. Barely sneaks it through the Astral Projection. What a shot from Tempo Melon, and that's going to be pass. Bringing it to match point now. Tied at set point, but match point for pass, where it could all be on the line right here.
Tempo has been incredibly clean with these IME abilities today. Just pouncing on every opportunity to make a play there, and a nice push up there with the flip to grab the barrier. This could be the final point of the series, the point that sends pass all the way to landing with a chance to qualify for the North American Strikers League. If they want to stop it, Dragonslayers 2 are going to have to pull out a bit of a miracle here, overcome the barrier advantage, find one of these flips. They have 3 flips coming up, so they have a chance to make something happen here, but they have to get it off of Coin and Tempo Melon, who are keeping this offense up consistently. There's Twisty's flip for the barrier, but now she's low. The X Maximus popped by Coin, looking for this KO. 2 flips on the back line for Dragonslayers. Striker Kai walks it up. The specialized Giga Blast takes out Tempo Melon. It's a power play as Twisty is still on the board. It's all in for Dragonslayers 2 here.
Oh, Twisty! Able to push it up. Right, that was a strike war against the Dubu log. That was perfectly timed. That's crazy that I was able to get through. Wow. And Mangoes was holding it down during that power play as well, but that was a weird interaction. But we're going to another set 5 here. And, well, here's our final draft, I guess. The Spark going over to Striker Kai. That's going to be the second one. Stacks for Coin. Maybe a risky pick. Coin has died a few times here. But going to go for the speed. Tempo going to pick up that Timeless Creator against the Atlas. And, of course, get that big Firewall Sentry. But Twin Drive going over to Twisty. Very dangerous awakening there for Kazan.
Yeah, the goalies are really the only ones super upset with that draft. Striker Kai is really happy. I mean, Coin and Tempo both spent a draft denying sparks away from that man, and he still ends up with not just a spark, but specifically Spark of Resilience, incredibly strong in the scenario that he finds himself in, which is getting pummeled by this X-IME. But certainly Tempo Melon having the extra special Timeless Exodia on this IME is going to be really valuable. I think that's already the second IME turret to come out this point, which is insane. But it is Pass who are lacking in barriers here. They are without a doubt shaking in their boots. After coming off of a match point, a series point, it'll be Twisty putting another goal in the back of their net. Dragonslayers 2 suddenly posturing to turn this whole thing around and go on to landing themselves.
Yeah, it's been neck and neck this entire series, and all the way up to the end. It seems like that's just never going to change here. We see Coin and Twisty fighting over the center size orb. It'll be Coin who picks it up, getting an immediate KO off that bull rush with the size, and now a core flip here from Coin. It will get blocked. They've got one barrier so far on the power play. They're looking for a second one. Tempo Melon with the glitch pop, coming up just a little bit short though. The Expanse to buy some time, and now Striker Kai back online. Twisty taking quite a bit of damage here as Coin and Tempo getting in the thick of it. Pass back in from Mangoes. Twisty has a flip available. The Atlas healing coming out, and now Coin hurt. Twisty with the core flip. He's going to pick up that KO onto the X, and now another power play here for Dragonslayers. Mangoes burning the flip early to buy a few seconds, and now Tempo Melon. Nice strike war to buy even more time. And Coin back online. Core flip from Tempo, blocked by Twisty. His pass, though, reigniting the offense. Tempo getting the size orb in the center. Pops the Firewall Sentry. The pressure coming in, but Strike Shot and Joy are absolutely holding it down. That barrier will not fall today. Mango's got to send it back up for the forwards, but they're running out of cooldowns. A nice glitch pop redirect from Tempo Melon finally opens up the goal, but Striker Kai, a quick barrier off the flip, and now Twisty in position to try and find another one, looking for the strike war, but Mango's makes it clear. Core flip from Coin, blocked by Strike Shot Enjoyer, the perfect time to stay alive. Now Twisty still looking for this barrier, finally picks it up. Both sides opened here. As Striker Kai pass up to Twisty, doesn't find the Maddening Descent. Giga Blast to try and send it back in, but Coin and Tempo Melon now off to the races. Core flip here to pass it in. Coin with the X Maximus catches the core and sends it in. Pass, tie the game.
Yeah, well played there from Coin and Tempo to find that point. We are seeing the highlights and weaknesses of both of these teams on display here, without a doubt. Coin has this absolutely disgusting X build, but with the prize fighter and the stacks on stacks, getting KO'd is a massive, massive problem. And Striker Kai and Twisty have been building up damage over the course of the game to be able to actually take out Coin. So we are seeing both sides reap exactly what they have sown over the course of the match. Tempo Melon putting out these turrets every 15 seconds or whatever the frick she's able to do with Spark of Focus and Extra Special. And Strike Shot Enjoyer having so much cooldown to respond to that, even in the face of Aimi ult, which is such a disgusting cooldown. Both of these teams going all out. 1-1. Twisty flipping in front of the net. It's a tale as old as time. If Twisty has core flip in front of your net, you better be quaking, because it's about to be another goal for Dragonslayers 2.
Is a match point, series point here for Dragonslayers 2. They did manage to bring it back from that last set. Now looking to close it out. See if Pass is going to allow that, or if they'll bring it to another 0.5 here. Twisty with double barriers in a position to score the top spin. Forces Mangos to use the elusive. And the core will slide right on in. Dragonslayers 2 take the series over Pass in Game 3, Set 5. They'll take the win, and they're going to be moving on to the winner's side of landing with that one. What a series. A great win there for Dragonslayers 2.
435 redirects on Striker Kai. Dude, I told you, I was like, this dude, he was playing on Rasmus in Game 2. Stuff looked a little bit off. He wasn't very comfortable. We put him back on his namesake. We put him back on the Kai. It's 435 redirects, 103 shots, 60 saves. This dude's stat line is out the wazoo, and not to mention, a lot of these KOs that Twisty was getting was actually off of the 32,000 damage that this dude somehow managed to put out on Kai. Like, that's insane. Yeah, well played all around from Dragonslayers 2. A comp that you look at it and you think, there's no possible way that this could KO. No, the Aimi X on the other team, that's the team that's going to be KOing. Psych, only 9 KOs between Coin and Tempo Melon to match the 13 collective KOs of Dragonslayers 2. Some seriously, seriously impressive stuff all around. And coming off of series point as well. Pass was on series point there in that 4th set. And Dragonslayers brought it back from the brink of defeat to come full circle and straight on through to landing. Well played from all 3 of them.
A good series indeed. An exhausting one, to be sure. But we're not done yet, because we are going to have more Omega Strikers coming up in just a bit. We're going to throw it to a quick break before we get on to our next series. But as soon as we come back, more landing qualifications. So don't go anywhere.